folks, so today's video is going to be another week of another palette. This is using the highly requested by you guys, the Venus 2 palette. I totally understand why you guys requested this because this palette has 8 weird eyeshadow colors. And to be honest, when I first got it, I was also like, what the hell do I do with this? Now, keep in mind that I have had this palette for a good while now. I have done different looks with it as well, so it's not necessarily a new experience for me, but I do want to share with you guys my go-tos. This is the look that I grabbed this palette out of my drawer to do. So I did kind of want to start with a bang and do my favorite look that I like using this palette for. If you guys want to know how to do it, then just stay tuned, and here it is. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to walk you through which eyeshadows I'm going to be using today. In this palette, there's 8, so you don't have a whole lot of options for different eyeshadows to use, but I'm just going to tell you which ones I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using Jam, I'm also going to be using Mud, I'm going to be using Mustard, and I'm going to be using Boots. So for brushes, I use 5, and I used a couple different ones, mostly because the ones that I normally use are dirty. I need to clean them. So I'm going to be using a Morphe M513 for my crease. It's kind of a longer crease brush. I'm going to be using, this is a Sigma sort of flat all over shader brush that's going to be used on my lid. Small fluffy brush, also from Sigma. This is a definer crease brush, just to kind of get some more shade right into my crease area. A more fluffy synthetic Morphe brush. I think this is actually supposed to be designed for nose contour, but it's a brush that I have laying around. This is going to be used to kind of add a little bit of shade around. And then I'm also going to use a pencil brush, mostly for the inner corner. Now the first eyeshadow that I'm going to go into is Mud. Now the tricky thing about this palette is this may be one of those palettes that you do have to pull additional shades from. For example, there isn't a matte transition shade. There really isn't a transition shade in this. If you're used to sort of neutral, like light browns or like medium tone browns for transition, there really isn't that in this palette, but I'm going to show you throughout the week sort of ways that I'm going to kind of work around that. So I'm actually going to start by going in my crease with Mud. Okay, so we're just going to take that mud colored eyeshadow, mud named eyeshadow, not color. We're just going to start lightly applying this in the crease. I also don't mind if that eyeshadow sort of blends up a little bit above the crease as well, because we are using that as a transition shade. It's going to continue to go into the eyeshadow and start to build up the intensity. I'm going to go into this beautiful orange, which is one of my favorite oranges that I think I own. And I'm going to go in with just a paddle brush. That's just sort of a flat shader brush. If I say paddle brush, that's kind of what I mean. Again, want to tap that off, and then for this is going to go all over the lid. We're just going to lightly press to avoid any fallout. This orange is so nice and so pigmented. Next, I'm going to be going back in with a little bit more of Mud. I'm also taking that down to the outer corner. Taking a bigger blending brush, I'm going to be going into a little bit of Mustard, which is this gorgeous yellow. I love the shades in this palette. It may seem kind of like a weird palette, but it works. And so I'm going to very lightly take that, and I'm going to be using this to gently blend out the Mud, just so that it almost has a ring of that yellow shade sort of around it. If that makes any sense, it just blends out a little bit nicer. I'm going to be going in the inner corner with Mustard. Just getting that on my little pencil brush. Underneath the eye, I'm going to go into a little bit more of the orange. Place that just underneath the lashes. I'm also going to take that big fluffy brush that we used earlier, pick up a little bit of Mustard. You could very well leave your eyeshadow like that. I like to darken it up just a little bit on the very corner. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another fluffy crease blending brush. Like this one fits really good, perfectly in there. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of Boot. This is the black in the palette that has a little bit of shimmer. This one is really just more for darkening up things, I find, as opposed to being like a true black eyeshadow, which I don't mind in the case of this palette. So and when you're done with the eyeshadow, I'm just going to go ahead and apply a coat of mascara, and then I'm going to come back and show you how I finish up the rest of the face. Okay, so then with mascara, that is the finished eye look. I like wearing this without false eyelashes. You could very well do so if you want. Okay, so then for the face, I'm just going to do a little bit of contouring. This is NYX Taupe Blush. Now here's another thing, that palette doesn't really have a good light highlight shade, so what I like to do is just take the very corner of a brush like this and apply that just underneath the brow bone. That's going to add a little bit of highlight there. You can see that I have it on this side as well. For blush, I'm going to be taking Rose Spritz from the Jaclyn Hill palette. Favorite lipsticks that I like to wear with this look are either like an emerald green, looks amazing with the orange, also a black and an orange as well that sort of matches the eyeshadow. Another one that I love and that I wear all the time with this is a brown, specifically Salem Velveteen from Limecrime. This is just a very Limecrime heavy video, but this is my favorite look that I pair together with this palette. This is the final makeup look. This is definitely my favorite using the Venus 2. This is my go-to look, so I did want to start the week with this one because this is the one that I literally pull this palette out for this look, so I wanted to start with that one. It's my favorite. So also I apologize for kind of a messy lip application. I'm running on like the last of Salem, so I have to get another one, but so it's a little bit patchy and weird, but I'm trying to like scrape all like the bottom of it out before I get another one because I have so many liquid lipsticks that I feel silly ordering replacements when I have like 50 of them. So yeah, as always, let me know in the comments how you enjoy this look. If you have the Venus 2 palette, if you like it, things you like, don't like, just discuss anything. I love reading comments, I love responding to them, so anything you want to say in the video down below, let me know. More than happy to read it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that crap. So you guys are enjoying this series, and until my next video, I will talk to all you soon. Bye!